Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers Ike Taylor, Brian McFadden, Brett Kiesel, and Max Starks recently sat down on CBS Sports and talked about the legendary era of the 2000s running backs. And I agree. I think the 2000s into the early 2010s was the best running back generation we have ever seen. Am I biased because that's like the nostalgic era? Yeah, 100%. We've ranked the top 10 quarterbacks of all time, the top 10 head coaches of all time. Now let's go ahead and do the top 10 running backs of all time. Just like all these other lists, we're going to start with the honorable mentions. And since I'm a softie and don't want anybody's feelings to get hurt, I want to reiterate, there are more than 10 running backs in the Hall of Fame. Just because a running back's on here doesn't mean that they weren't good. Heck, it doesn't mean that they weren't great. Starting off with our first honorable mention, we have Thurman Thomas. A lot of talk goes into what of Jim Kelly's legacy would have been if they had won any of those 4 Super Bowls in the 90s. What about Thurman Thomas? This guy was an animal. Buffalo doesn't really get talked about as the teams with great running back histories. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the Tennessee Titans / Houston Oilers, the Rams. Those teams, you hear them brought up all the time. Buffalo, not so much. Thurman Thomas, he comes in as one of our honorable mentions. Honorable mention is one of the most fearsome running backs that we have ever seen, Earl Campbell, MVP. The only thing really holding this guy back is the fact that the longevity just was not there. Not a super long career. Even back in the day, these running backs would churn out super long careers. Earl Campbell, he didn't. He falls just off the list because of it. Our next honorable mention is actually third all-time on the NFL rushing list, which you hear that and you're like, all right, he should 100% be on this top 10 list. Why isn't he? My argument for that would be, one, the longevity is very impressive. Frank Gore played in that awesome running back era that we were just talking about, like, in my eyes, the best running back era, and he played all the way up until the Adam Gase New York Jets era. That's incredible. It kind of hurts him and helps him that he was in that great rushing era. Because he was in that great rushing era, how often was Frank Gore a top 5 running back? I would argue not very much. Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch, LaDainian Tomlinson at the end. Who else do we have? Jamal Charles, LaShawn McCoy, Le'Veon Bell at the end of his 49ers tenure. There were always guys, and I'm missing. Arian Foster had a 16 touchdown season in there. Maurice Jones-Drew. There were always running backs that at least competed with him. I don't know how many times he was actually